On December 22nd, 2020, I had 800 hair grafts moved from the back of my head to the front of my head. It's currently December 18th, 2021, so it's been about a year since I got this hair transplant, so I wanted to give a quick update on my progress. Just a quick overview, because I actually have never even talked about the process at all. Quick overview, I went to Bosley in New Orleans. I went there simply because it's a large corporation for hair transplants, and I figured it's less likely that I could get a bad surgeon and have my hair transplant botched, because that was like a genuine fear of mine, because I would hate to shave my head 2 times to have to go and get another hair transplant. So I went on the morning of the 22nd last year, went in, got checked out, had a whole discussion with the doctor, talked to him about the plan, and he recommended 800 hair follicles. We went lighter, or I guess less dense, simply because I was 24 at the time, and I was already receding pretty heavily, and I didn't intend at that time to get on finasteride. After I met with the doctor, I got sent to the operating room, and there one of the techs shaved the back of my head and started pulling out hair follicles. We were having issues initially with transecting my grafts, just because I guess I have a pretty massive scar on the back of my head from whenever I was younger, and apparently I guess they just can't remove the follicles out as well in scar tissue, so she had to pull all my hair grafts pretty much from this area, because this entire region right here has a nice large scar on it. So after that, I ended up taking a lunch break, because it took way longer than I expected. They numbed my head obviously before any of that happened. That would be probably pretty painful if they didn't do that. Then they took a lunch break, numbed my head some more, and then the doctor came in and gave me 800 incisions around the front of my hairline. I only got hair transplants right there. You'll see in pictures later on. That was actually the only part that the doctor actually did, which was interesting to me. All I did was literally just cut holes in my head, nothing else. Then after the doctor cut all 800 holes in my head, 2 new techs, different from the one this morning, came in and then basically just put the hair follicles into the holes. That was pretty much it. One thing I did learn, whenever they're, I guess, putting the follicles back into the holes that the doctor cut into your head, if you don't have enough anesthetic there, you will feel it. And you know, it hurt. It just didn't hurt that bad, but your body just starts spewing out blood, which can mess up actually the hair follicles. So if you start to feel anything, make sure you tell them, hey, more anesthetic, put some more anesthetic in there. And the reason why I wasn't telling them to put more in is because I was nervous about my head swelling up like crazy, which is apparently pretty common with local anesthetics, just because it takes so long. You know, they literally just inject it into this area, and it has to run through your entire face, and so your face will swell up, and I was like, I don't really want that. So I was trying to minimize the anesthetic just to figure out how important it actually is. So it's a good tip. But yeah, I'll show you what my hair looks like now. Well, I guess the front of my hairline. You already saw the back. So as you can see, it's gotten significantly better. Pretty much all the hair is pretty much grown in. It's definitely a little bit thin, but like I said, that was kind of expected. Simply because at that time I didn't know if I was gonna get on finasteride or not. And if I wasn't gonna get on finasteride, I was gonna go completely bald, and so I'd have to do multiple other surgeries. However, I did get on finasteride in March, and you'll probably see in the pictures that I'll be showing you later on the rough timeline when I came on. So we'll go ahead and dive into the pictures. So here's how my hair looked before the transplant, just 3 different angles. As you can see, I was balding on the crown. Here's a picture of me on the day of the surgery. This is the first day after the surgery. As you can see, all the little cuts in my head. Here's what I was talking about earlier with the swelling of the local anesthetic. Basically, if you get any amount of stress, you're gonna swell up like that. Here's day 4. I look like a straight grease ball, and the reason why is you're supposed to spray this hydrating spray on your head for an extended period of time. So 1 month in, all the hair follicles started to fall out, which is expected. 2 to 3 months in, I started to finally see some growth back, more so on the right side. And 3 to 4 is when I started to get really excited, because that's whenever pretty much all the hairs actually started to come back. I was stressing from the 2nd to 3rd month simply because I wasn't sure if I was going to regain those hairs. So here's 5.5 to 6 months. This is when I started to be really happy, and this is the day that I really started to see my growth. Month 10, pretty good. Month 11, still growing deeper and deeper in. I mean, this transformation can take up to 18 months, so I'm still seeing progress. I mean, you can see a difference between month 11 and month 12. I could talk more about the hair transplant process itself. However, I think there are better resources to learn from than me. So I'll end this video off just by giving you one final look at my hair. This is a year and about 2 or 3 weeks after the transplant was actually completed. So I'll give you the back view, my crown, and I guess my front hairline. I jumped on finasteride, like I said, about 9 months ago, sometime in mid-March. So you get to see that as well. So here's the front, where all the follicles were transplanted to. 800. Like I said, it is kind of thin, but at the time I wasn't planning on getting on finasteride, so we needed to save more healthy grafts for future transplants. Here is my crown, and here is the back.